If we look at guilt, we look at I made a mistake, I was supposed to meet you for lunch, I completely forgot, I blew you off, your feelings were hurt, but I can make it up. I can take you to lunch 2 times, I can pay, I can say I'm sorry, and the guilt will dissipate. I will feel as though I have made amends. That's guilt. Shame is a little different. Shame by definition means it's always to the bone. Guilt is I made a mistake and I can fix it. Shame is, honey, I am the mistake. And I don't really believe that anything good comes from the pit of shame. I think you have to move to a place of clarity and honesty, and you have to move into your head and look at, this is what I did. This is how I hurt not only the victim but myself, for Pete's sake. What I preach is if you're going to offend someone, you're also going to offend yourself. So we have to move out of that pit into our head, into looking at the behavior from a cognitive perspective and a behavioral perspective, and then you can move back into the feelings realm and feel those feelings and work through those feelings and nurture them. But it's a clean process. It is a burning, so to speak, of the dross, and a cleansing by fire. It's not just getting slogged in by all that muck and mire, because you can't go anywhere. People who are absolutely embedded in shame say things to me like, I've been told I was bad all my life and I have proven them right. Look at what I have done. And then they give me this long litany on exactly what they've done, and they don't feel good about it, and they keep on doing it. So I'm not real sure that shame is productive except to debrief and to honor and to move away from. I don't believe personally that productive, happy, I mean, let's just work with that. Happy people are absolutely mired in the muck of shame. So when you ask me about treatment without shame, without going into that place, we can dabble in it, we can put our foot in it, they're already there when they walk in the door. But at some point, we have to step out, shake off, and begin the moving on process. Who cares? Why should I care? That's really a common question. It's like, it doesn't affect me. Why should I care about you and your sex offenders? Why, I have other things to care about. Well, unfortunately, we have some statistics that are pretty grim, and we talk about 1 in 6 males and 1 in 4 females are offended before they're 18. And actually that is statistically sound because it's based on what we know, based on what is reported. But what we also know is only a fraction is reported. So a truer truth is probably 1 in 3. If you have a room full of 50 people and you just have them go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then have everybody whose number was 3 stand up, you begin to get a picture of how prevalent this is throughout not just the United States, the world. And in its wake creates tremendous damage, not only for the victims, but for the perpetrators and the families of both. So it is like an anchor that drags down our culture as a whole. So it is my belief, and a strong one, I'll admit, that we better bloody well be concerned about why you, because I don't know a family, frankly, that hasn't had some brush somewhere with sex offending. It may have been a touchy-feely uncle at the Christmas party. It may have been a cousin. It may have been someone that a family member knew. But I don't know anybody who hasn't had some brush, some personal knowledge of sex offending. It's everywhere, it's in everything, and we have to look at it before we can even begin the curing it, working with it process. Why should you, as a sex offender, care about treatment? Well, honey, you above all people should care about sex offender treatment. For several reasons, you've walked that walk. You have more understanding at the tip of your little finger than I will ever have about the process of offending, and even more importantly, the process of recovery. Your knowledge is far more valuable than any research project I will ever do, in any of the articles that I have ever written, any of the books that I've ever done. Your knowledge trumps all of that. And that is a gift back to this population. For many years, I've longed to have a place, any place, that information could be shared from the victims, from the offenders, from the families of both, not in a angry, hostile, let's throw mud at each other way, but just let's give you some information, particularly people who I call secondary victims. These are the people who have a son that's an offender, or a partner, or they're not directly the offender, but they are certainly in there because they're related in some way to the offender. How wonderful it would be to have a place for them to connect with one another. This is a very alone, isolated place to be, and it's very shame-based. And the only way you deal with that is bring it to the light and share it. So that's my hope for this blog, is that it is a place, frankly, where we can all come together and heal. The people that make up this particular blog, the Sex Offender Information Station, are those who want to participate and those to some degree that we have asked to participate. For example, I want anyone who reads it to have an article there from a judge who works to decide what is the best place for the offender to go, from a treatment provider's voice to maybe a parole and probation officer's voice. So we're going to have professionals who are certainly going to be and are part of the whole system, to individuals who are affected. This is a place where Clarification letters can be placed where offenders have worked to clarify their crimes to their victims. This will be a place where people who have gotten better through sex offender treatment and want to share that experience can do that. This is also a place where victims may want to talk about their experience. Again, the goal is for it to be an open-ended place where all of us, connected through the medium of sex offending, can come to share and to heal and get better. And my belief is that if we do that, we will add a little bit of healing to the world. The mission for this blog, for this sex offender information blog, is to provide a safe place, a safe haven, if you would, for people to come and share their pain, share their knowledge, and to share their growth. And I believe when we're in that spirit, we're in that spirit of giving. And in that spirit of giving comes healing. And that's the ultimate goal, I think, of everything, is growth and healing. We do two things, actually. We post information that we think might be helpful to a variety of people, either offenders or victims or families of loved ones. We provide videos for individuals to look at. We put sort of a face to treatment, which I think is very, very important. And we begin to open up, I hope, this field that has been in secret for so long. And anytime you do that, you let the light in. And anytime the light is in, healing has to occur. I hope that this blog will accomplish many things. I think it's certainly our goal to accomplish a open-ended site where people can come to share their experiences, to get information. What's treatment like, for example? Or what's it going to be like when I go to court? Or what's a full disclosure? There are just so many questions that everyone has. Will I ever be allowed to be around children? The questions just go on and on and on. And there is no one place that I know of that's available where all these questions can be answered. Or if we don't have the answers, immediately we can find them. In talking to public defenders, in talking to DAs, in talking to our sex offender network, they are excited about this blog because they will have a place to refer people new in the system, families with someone new in the system. It'll be an instant place where they can go to and begin to get some sense of solace and some belief that they're not alone.